What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another EA College Football 25 Dynasty video. Now today we are going to discuss one of my most hyped things that I am excited for in this year's upcoming game called Teambuilder. So if you're unfamiliar with Teambuilder, that pretty much allows you to have the ability to create a team and put it into your Dynasty mode or even play now. So we are going to discuss 5 FCS teams that we could possibly bring into the game to play in our Dynasty mode. Now, I know that there is a plethora of options that I could have chose, but in today's video, I wanted to discuss just 5 really good teams that you can bring into your Dynasty to kind of compete at the next level. So with that being said, we can do some future videos with maybe some of the best jerseys or just some of the most underrated teams. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys would like to see in the future. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our first team on the list, the Richmond Spiders. So the Richmond Spiders are a pretty decent team. They're not the best team in the FCS level, but they definitely can get the job done. Last season, they finished 9-4 overall, and they went 7-1 in their conference. They're one of the more well-known FCS teams, and it's mainly due to their sick jerseys. I'm not gonna lie, just seeing the spider on the helmet and in the middle of the field gets me hype, man. They're one of my favorite stadiums and my favorite jerseys to use in all of college football. So if you have the ability to use these guys, they're definitely going to be one of the better teams that you can use. They have a great history of making 9 playoff appearances on the FCS level, and they also won the national championship in 2008. So they're definitely going to be a team that you could have the ability to bring back to the promised land and get to the national championship. And to start your season, they're not going to be a bad team as they are currently ranked 22nd in the coaches poll on the FCS level. So overall, I would give Richmond Spiders a solid chance to compete at the next level, and I think that they're going to be a really fun team to use, especially in your Team Builder Dynasty. Now, next up on the list, we have the Youngstown State Penguins. Now, the Penguins were 8-5 overall last season, and they finished 5-3 overall in their conference. They're also a pretty well-known FCS team due to their rich history. They have 29 playoff victories, ranking the 3rd most all-time on the FCS level. And if you guys are familiar with coaches and legacies, most of these wins came under head coach Jim Tressel, so they have a lot of rich history and a lot of good culture surrounding winning. Now, they haven't been so good in the last couple years, as their last appearance in the championship game was in 2016. So it's not too long ago, but over the last couple years, they've kind of been a mediocre team, middle of the pack team. So with that being said, this is definitely a team that you can bring back to the promised land and maybe get some star recruits to come play for your team. Now, in my opinion, I really enjoy looking at Youngstown State's field as they got one of the better stadiums in the FCS level. So that is something that is definitely going to be an eye-opener for incoming recruits and just even current teams that maybe want to come play at your stadium. With that being said, Youngstown State does have a lot of good competition as they played Ohio State a couple years, and they don't shy away from playing the best teams. So that's something that if you want to kind of carry on that tradition when making your schedule, Youngstown State does love to step up to the plate and play those top tier teams. Now, they are currently ranked the 21st overall team in the coaches poll, so they're definitely going to be one of the better teams that you could put coming from the FCS. Next up on the list, we have Montana. Now, Montana is one of the better teams on this list as they are currently ranked number 2 in the coaches poll in the upcoming season, and they also did play in the championship game last season. They finished 13-2 overall and finished 7-1 in their conference. Now, Montana has been one of the most dominant teams on the FCS level as no team has made more playoff appearances than Montana has at the FCS level with 27 playoff appearances. They have 37 wins, which rank 2nd all-time, but they haven't won a national championship since 2001. So with that being said, Montana has a rich history of getting the job done, getting a lot of wins, but they cannot seem to finish when it comes to the championship level. So with that being said, you will have the ability to kind of rewrite that narrative and take Montana to the next level. Montana also has some really good players, and they do have some cool jerseys as well. I didn't think that they were going to have some cool jerseys, but after taking a look at them, I can say they do have some fire unis. You can do different color combinations, and I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty fire. Overall, Montana is a great team to use, and they are going to be one of the best FCS teams this upcoming season. Next up on the list, we have one of my personal favorite FCS teams and one of the best teams that we've seen in a very long time, the South Dakota Jackrabbits. Now, the Jackrabbits were the only team on the FCS level last season to have an undefeated season, finishing 15-0 on the season and 8-0 in their conference. They currently are the king of the FCS Hill right now after they beat Montana in the national championship last year, so they are looking to go back-to-back on the national championship stage. They are led by star quarterback Mark Gronowski, who is returning to the South Dakota Jackrabbits for another season, and he is looking to defend his title, so he will be one of the best players on the team, and he will be a great leadership player to have on your team as well. He has the ability to make all the throws that you want, and he can also put his legs to use as well. Overall, the Jackrabbits offer a great wide variety of skill as they have a lot of returning players and they're one of the top recruiting teams on the FCS level. Now, it's up to you if you can take them to back-to-back national championships, but it's going to be harder as they will be entering the FBS level if you use them in Teambuilder Dynasty. So we'll have to see. Are you going to be able to take these Jackrabbits to the next level? They should be a good team to use, but it's not going to be easy, but they definitely will be one of the highest overall ranked FCS teams on this list. And last but not least, we have the North Dakota State Bisons. Now, many people are very familiar with the North Dakota State Bisons, and a lot of people are actually surprised that they haven't made the jump to the FBS yet, as they've been one of the best teams that we've seen in college football over the last decade. They have 9 national championships, and they also won 5 straight national championships from 2011 to 2015. They've also produced really high caliber NFL players, most notably Carson Wentz and Trey Lance. And if you also want to take a look at some of the skill positions, they also produced Green Bay Packers star wide receiver Christian Watson. Now, I'm sure that there's a lot of other players that have come from the school, but these are most notably some of the best players that they produced over the last couple years. Now, with the pedigree that they have and the ability to produce stars, you can definitely imagine how good their team has to be right now. So when you have the ability to put these guys in Teambuilder and show what kind of skills they can produce on the FBS level, there is no doubt in my mind that they should be able to compete at the next level. And honestly, out of all the teams on this list, I think that this team is the most capable of competing for an FBS national championship. So that is going to do it for this list of FCS teams that I think that are going to be the strongest candidates to put in your Teambuilder Dynasty. Now, I'm definitely somebody who's going to utilize the team builder aspect a lot, and I'm going to be doing a ton of team builder dynasties myself. So if there's anybody that you guys think that I missed or should be on this list, let me know in the comment section, because I'm definitely willing to try any team out there that I can. And let me know what you guys think about this list. Do you guys think that they were ranked right? Or what do you guys think about these teams overall? I think that these teams got a lot of history and they got a lot of winning records. So overall, I think that these, in my opinion, are some of the best 5 teams that you could put from the FCS to move to the FBS in your Team Builder Dynasty. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. You guys have been showing so much love and so much support on the channel, and I really truly appreciate it. As always, make sure that you guys like the video, comment what other videos you guys want to see on the channel, and we will catch you guys in the next EA College Sports Football update.